and seeing where they sit. I'm like, all right, which ones were the class pets and which one of them made it to the back? I was always just sitting in the front right by the teacher. I wanted them to know right off the bat I was the teacher's pet. So to get started here, hi guys, I'm Savannah. We have a couple other people here in the back. Kathy will be sitting there, she's recording. You'll meet a lot of them when we get done here and you guys go to the back. I'll introduce them later, but hi, I'm Savannah. Today we're going to be talking about how to watch TV over the internet, or what you probably know it as, streaming TV. So before we get started, I kind of want to gauge where everybody's at experience-wise. So we're just going to do a little raise your hand thing. How many of you guys have never had any kind of streaming service, no Netflix, no Hulu, nothing, you don't know anything about it, you're like, tell me what I need to know. Okay, how many of you guys have at least had Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus or something and know about that? Okay, and how many of you guys are like, I'm just here because Endeavor's taking away our TV and I need to learn? Yeah, that's normally the majority. So, starting right off the bat, I want to preface this by saying, I know this is a lot of information. I'm going to go through a lot of it. Honestly, I'm just going to give you a brief overview so you at least know this is what it is, this is what I need. But honestly, when we get done here, you guys are going to go to the back. You guys will actually get to see what it looks like, what it feels like, what channels do you have, and you can kind of get more personalized help because everybody has different things that they want with their experience. So this is just an overview. But if you have questions, raise your hand, I'll get to them. So streaming TV is really about the same as cable TV. The big difference is how you get it. With streaming TV, that's going to be through your internet, whereas cable is through cables, through a satellite, whatever. So with streaming TV, it's just the same. You can record shows, you have a channel guide, and you can basically watch your favorite channels anywhere you want to go. So if you have internet, let's say you go down to Florida for a couple months out of the year, you can take your streaming TV with you. You don't have to call Dish and cancel it and then move it to somewhere else. As long as you have either a Roku stick, a streaming TV, an iPad, tablet, if you have internet, you've got basically your TV with you wherever you go. Why use streaming TV over cable besides just, well, you guys are taking it away, so I have to. There actually are some benefits. It's going to be more reliable, especially if you guys have a Dish TV or anything like that. Anytime there's weather, you're not going to be affected by it. You're not going to have that pixelation and a lot of those issues. If your internet is good, your TV's good. You're not going to have a lot of those unnecessary channels that you'll have with cable. We're going to be talking a lot today about YouTube TV. It has, I believe, about 85 channels on it, including your local channels as well. So it's got a lot of the big ones. There is a guide on your guys' table, the YouTube TV channel guide. Feel free to look at that. That has all of the channels that you get. I did use a Cloverdale zip code. So if you have a different zip code, you might have some different local channels. I know a big question that people have is, well, if I put in this zip code, I get the indie channels, and I don't want that. I want the Terre Haute ones. You can choose whether or not you would rather have the indie local channels or the Terre Haute local channels when you sign up. So I know that's been a common question, but you get those local channels as well, so you don't have to have an antenna or anything like that. Also, again, if you have internet, you can watch this anywhere, and it's normally cheaper on average. So what do you need if you're doing streaming TV? These are essentially the basics. So you need an internet connection, which, great, if you're an Endeavor customer, you've already got that, you're good. You're gonna need your internet name and password. If you don't have that, you can call us, we'll help you find it. It's normally on your router, but if you don't know where that is, call us, we can help you find it. And you'll just need that when you initially set this up. You won't need that all the time. Next, especially if you're using a YouTube TV account, you have to have a Gmail account. You can't just have a regular old email. Unfortunately, YouTube and Google are best buddies, so they make you have to use a Gmail account if you want YouTube TV, but thankfully you really just go to a website, put in your information, and you can get an email. And in the packet, I think on the second and third page, you can actually see the instructions for setting up a Gmail account. It has pictures so you can see what it's supposed to look like. But you can do it on your phone. You just have to go to that website. So once you have the Gmail account, you have to choose your streaming service. So today we're going to be focusing on YouTube TV. That's what we're recommending to people. It's going to be the most similar to your Endeavor TV right now. It's going to be the easiest transition and the most similar experience to what you have now, so that's what we're recommending. You're also going to need some streaming capable device. So either if you have a tablet or a phone, great, you can watch your TV right on there. Obviously, people care about the TVs. If you have a smart TV, awesome. You can already start streaming on that TV. Now, I've had a lot of people ask, well, how do I know if I have a smart TV? If you guys, normally by looking at the remote, you can tell. There's normally like a big colorful button. You have like, it's called the Smart Hub, or if you hit the menu and you open it up, and it has tons of different boxes with Netflix and Disney, then you have a smart TV. If that does not ring a bell for you guys, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you don't have a smart TV. And you guys in the back, you guys will see what it actually looks like when you turn on a smart TV. So if that doesn't look familiar to you, don't worry, you don't have it. Now, if you don't have a smart TV and you're like, well, how do I use the YouTube TV then? We're recommending these Roku sticks. They cost about 30 bucks. You can get them at Walmart, order them on Amazon, any of these big box stores basically. It runs about 30 bucks. The Roku is what we're recommending. It's the easiest to learn. It's just going to be the simplest. This is what it looks like. It's in the purple box. Although if you go to Walmart and you ask them, I need a Roku streaming stick, they'll tell you what to get. So that's really what you need to just get started. Streaming capable device, the streaming service in your internet. Now, how much are we looking at for cost? So your internet, obviously you guys already have that, but normally if you have 60 to 90 bucks. You're going to need a Gmail account. That's free to set up. Streaming TV, so YouTube TV, that's what we're talking about today. It's 65 bucks a month. So for 65 bucks, you get all of the channels that are on that channel guide. And there are some add-ons as well. If you flip to the back, you'll actually see, you know, the Cinemax, the Stars, the HBO. And if you want, you can add those on. They're normally about 5 to 10 bucks each. But if there is like a particular movie channel that you really, really like and you want, you can add it on for $5 to $10. Or if you're a really big like golf or soccer fan, they also have the sports package. That's on the front. It's about 11 bucks a month and includes all of those in the bottom right corner. But when you sign up for YouTube TV on the website, it will give you a list of all the channels you're going to get, and you'll be able to see what you're going to get when you purchase it. So we kind of went over any non-smart TV, 30 bucks just to upgrade it. That's a one-time thing. You just buy the device and you're good. If you want a smart TV, you're like, I don't even want to mess around with the Roku sticks, you can buy a smart TV. I mean, 130 bucks plus, depending on what kind of size you're looking at. So a little bit more expensive. That's why we recommend the Roku sticks. So a lot of people ask, you know, what's the best TV option? Some people have heard of Hulu TV. They've heard of Sling, Philo, Fubo. We're recommending YouTube TV. It's kind of the most all-inclusive option. And it has a couple of unique features that some of the other channels' streaming options don't have, which we'll kind of touch on. Now, if you are a person who's on a fixed income and, you know, the price really matters, there are some what they call budget options, like Sling, Fubo, and like Philo, and they have maybe like one of them has like Hallmark and Food Network, but like one of them has like the History Channel. So, and they're normally about 20 to 30 bucks a month, so it's a lot cheaper. But with that being said, the trade-off is that it's not as user-friendly, and let's say you want to watch Hallmark that night. Okay, well now I have to go to Sling, and you're like, well now I want to watch the History Channel, now you have to go to Fubo, and it's going to be 2 separate apps that you have to navigate, so it's just a little bit more complicated to navigate, but if you are on a fixed income, that's definitely something you can do if you're willing to jump through those hoops. We're going to be focusing on YouTube TV today. It's much easier to navigate than the others. So ultimately, it's going to come down to what channels can you not live without? What channels do you watch every day? Does this have all the channels that I want? And that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. And YouTube TV really has the most extensive list with your local channels as well. Now, also some really positives for YouTube TV. A lot of people ask about recording. So with YouTube TV, you have unlimited DVR. You can record as much as you want, movies, TV shows, and it's not going to matter. Now, with that being said, it will only store it on your DVR for 9 months. So if you've got a movie that you keep on there that you watch all the time, you can store it on there, have as many as you want, but after 9 months it's going to take it off. So you have to find it again and record it. But for those 9 months, it's unlimited. Versus like Hulu TV, you can only record up to 50 hours. So big difference there. Also with YouTube TV, you have unlimited simultaneous recordings. So you can record 2, 6, 13 shows all at the same time. It doesn't matter, which is a really nice pro. And you've got the unlimited DVR, so you can do that too. Another big pro that I like to tell people about is you can have up to 5 family members on your YouTube TV account. So I really like that because my grandparents have YouTube TV and we have 2 separate accounts. So we have separate DVRs and everything, but it's all on one YouTube TV plan. So if you've got family members or neighbors or whoever, you guys can all have your own separate account and split the cost. They live in Coatesville and they use their YouTube TV all the time. I live in Indianapolis and I use it all the time. We can both use it at the same time, doesn't matter, which is really nice. And we have our own separate accounts as well, so we can record stuff all at the same time. We have separate DVRs. It's really nice, and you can save some money if you have other family members who want to use it as well. So just something to keep in mind, another way to save money if you really want to. Or you're just feeling generous and want to share it with the grandkids. So how do you get started? There's really about 3 steps. You set up your Gmail account, you set up your YouTube TV account, and then you log into YouTube TV on your streaming device. So this is all just a one-time thing. You're only going to do this the first time when you get everything and you sign into the TV and you have to do all this, which is a lot of hoops to jump through. But once you're logged in, you have everything set up, it's as easy as turning on the TV, going to YouTube TV, you can start watching your show. The hardest part about streaming TV is getting it set up because there are just so many hoops to jump through. And like I kind of mentioned before, we have a packet with photos to try and help you guys, walk you through step by step how to set up the Gmail account, the YouTube TV account, the Roku, how to hook it up to your TV, where to even hook it up. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be easier to call the grandkids, call the neighbor, call anybody else to just do it for you. But if you can't, we have that put together. There's also really great resources online. I know Roku TV, they have a website, and it has pictures as well to show you how to get it set up. And if you want to, you can call their hotline. It'll take you a second to get to a person, but once you get there, they will begrudgingly walk you through it. So I'm going to kind of go through, basically, to set up a Gmail account, you're going to go to this website, you fill out your information, your first name, your birthday, what's the email address you want, write down your password, agree to terms of service, and you're good. The biggest thing I want to hammer home with this step, write down your email address and password. You're going to need that to set up your YouTube account, to sign in on Roku. Write it down, stick it to the back of the TV, the laptop. I'm going to say this a couple more times. Write it down. You're going to need that. But once you have that set up, you're going to go to a different website, so YouTube TV, and it's really the same thing. You're going to click it, try it free. You're going to fill out all of your information. Again, in the packet, it has photos of what this looks like, what you need to hit. And then you get to start a free trial, which I know right now for YouTube TV, you have a 14-day free trial. So you have 2 weeks basically to see, is this even right for me? And if it's not, then of course you have to go and make sure you cancel it, otherwise they'll charge you like any of these big people would. But you would get 2 weeks to kind of get familiar with it before you really have to agree to anything. And the nice thing with YouTube TV is there's no contract. So let's say you go through the 2-week free trial, you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep this, you try it for a month or two, and you're just like, I hate this. This is awful, this is not for me. You can cancel it that same day. It doesn't matter if it's 1 week, 6 months, 10 months, you can cancel it, there's no contract. So that's a really nice plus of you don't have to sign a contract with YouTube TV. Now, setting up the streaming devices, this is kind of the hardest part, is hooking it up to your actual TV. Now, if you have a phone or tablet, it's as easy as you download the YouTube TV app. You know, you go to your app store, look up YouTube TV, download it, if you can remember your passcode for your app store, and then you'll just log in with that same YouTube TV account, which will be the same as your Gmail account, which is why it's so important you write it all down. Use the same passwords for it all, make it easy on yourself. But once that's set up, I mean, you can log in on your phone through the app, you can start watching it, same with an iPad. Now, with TVs, it's a little bit different. You're gonna have to get one of the streaming sticks. It's basically plug and play. So there's going to be like an HDMI port, which in the instructions we show you what's an HDMI, what's it look like, where do I plug it in. It's all in the packet. They also have things online for you to look at. But basically, you plug everything in where it fits, you turn on the TV, and you just follow what it says on the TV. Now, I always tell people when you set it up on your TV, the biggest thing is make sure you've got that Gmail account, because when you first set it up, it's going to send a code to that email to make sure you're a person and yada, yada, yada. You're going to have to check that email, put in like a 6-digit code, and then you're good. But you will need to remember that email password, at least for the setup of it. They also do paperless billing as well, so it'll probably be sent to that email. If you want actual paper billing, you can do that, but it is an extra $10 a month. So keep that in mind. Wherever they can get their pennies, right?
Would they charge it to like a charge card, and it just automatically put it on a charge card?
Yeah, so basically instead of whatever credit card you put it on to pay for YouTube TV, instead of the 65, it'll be 75 if you want it sent through the mail. But if not, it'll be sent to that Gmail account, and you'll have it there. But basically, once you plug this in, follow the prompts on the screen, and sign into YouTube TV. Once you've done all that, it's as easy as turn on your TV, click the YouTube TV icon, and you can start watching. And you'll see what I'm talking about back there when you guys go to the TVs, what it looks like when you turn on the TV. You know, when you click the YouTube TV app, what am I seeing? What's the channel guide look like? What's the remote feel like? But it's really just that setup, that there's a lot of hoops to jump through at first. So some of the reminders, remember, write down that Gmail account information. It's going to use the same passwords for the YouTube TV account, the Roku account. It's all going to be the same. Make it easy on yourself. I always say write it down, stick it on the back of the TV. If you can remember, it's there. Or put in the password book, wherever you need to do, just don't lose it. If you do have issues, call YouTube TV. A lot of times people set this up and then they call us. We unfortunately cannot help you. This is not going to be through us. YouTube TV, it's going to be a separate bill from your Endeavor bill. The only bill you'll still be getting from us is for your internet. But for YouTube TV, it's going to come from them, and it'll be sent to your Gmail account. It will not be from us. Even if you call us, we can't help you, so don't bother. But with that being said, on everybody's table, there is a paper talking about our Speed Geek sessions. Those are back up and running. These are free community help desk sessions. They're the second Thursday of every month. It's open from 3 to 6 p.m., or 4 to 6 p.m., my bad. We have local high school students, our IT people, a lot of our workers. We're all here. Anybody from the community can come in if they've got tech questions. So if you have more questions about streaming TV, you can always come in. We'd be happy to help. And even if you don't have questions about streaming TV, if you have questions about like an issue with your computer, your phone, your email, you can still bring it in and we'll help you. So that's the second Thursday of every month. Our next one is May 12th. We also normally post them on our Facebook page and on our website whenever the days are. So if you follow us on Facebook, or you can always just manually check our website, we always put the dates on there. So if you guys have more questions still or have issues later, you can always come to those. They're completely free, and ask any more questions you have. But with that being said, thank you. I know that was a lot. You guys feel free to take all the papers. If you want extra copies, feel free to take them as well. There are TVs set up in the back. We've got Kathy is one person, Toria and Jay. We've got 2 TVs set up back there. Yeah, there we go. That's Kathy. You guys can, and there's Toria.
Hello.
So if you guys want to make your way